Everyone today is so focused on the outcomes of every single action they make, and it's led to society as a whole to be just sadder and more unmotivated than ever. People will ruminate on things that happened weeks, months, or even years ago, and when they're so caught up on these negative outcomes, they don't step back and use it as an opportunity to grow or motivate themselves for next time. To prevent yourself from falling into this trap, you have to realize how little you can actually control. There are so many random events that can happen regardless of what you do. Let's say one day you're driving to work and you're a really good driver. You don't run red lights, you don't cut people off, you check your blind spots, you use your turn signals, and you're just on your way to work and all of a sudden, bang! A driver swerves in front of you and just completely wrecks your car. You were at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, could you control that? Could have you done anything different? No. You did everything right. And you just need to be aware of that. Because when you're aware of that, anytime you think about it again and begin to become upset about it, as long as you're aware, you're going to be able to think some sense into yourself. You're going to be like, all right, but I'm aware that I didn't do anything wrong. I know I'm still angry, but I have some peace of mind in knowing that I did it right. Now let's say the accident was your fault. You're in a rush and you forgot to check your blind spot. Get over, boom. You and this other guy's car, they're wrecked. And you think to yourself, did I do everything I could to avoid that? And your answer is going to be no. You realize, shoot, I was in a rush. I didn't mean to. You're going to feel guilty. But that guilt is at least a sign that you understand that you could have done something better. You could have made a better action. Guilt is one of the best motivators to do better. When you use this logic for everyday actions, you realize how little is worth stewing on. And if you're like, well, I really need this outcome, you just make sure you do everything in your power that you can do. And if you didn't do anything wrong, well, all these extraneous variables, all these random events must have not been on your side. Just try again. Maybe next time, luck will be on your side. And let's say you took the wrong actions, you didn't do everything you could, and you failed. Well, you're going to do better next time to make sure the reason why you failed wasn't your lack of trying or your poor decisions. Now, I want to share a time where when I was younger, I accidentally came to this conclusion but didn't realize it. And it had to do with lacrosse. I played lacrosse back in the day, all through high school, and I was an attackman. And as an attackman, pretty much your whole job is to score, create points. And anytime my team would lose, I would beat myself up because if we didn't win, it must have been my fault. There must have been something I could have done. In one game, it kind of got to a point of hopelessness. I got frustrated, and instead of taking the blame myself, I displaced the blame on my teammates. Well, the defensemen who were trying to prevent scoring. And was that a good teammate thing to do? No. But what that kind of allowed me to do was just be like, all right, well, I can't really control what happens. If the defense plays bad, they're going to play bad, and there's nothing I could do about it. So I'm just going to focus on what I can do. I'm just going to score, just to score, just to do it. Not to win, just to do it. And after this happened, I actually started playing better because I wasn't so focused on or ruminating on the extraneous things that I couldn't control. I was just focused on what I could do. Now, I don't want to advocate blaming other people for outcomes because I think that's unfair to them. But it was a way that I was able to come to this conclusion that you can only control what you can control. And there's other ways people can too. Okay, now I want to share a recent example of how I've now consciously used this lesson to improve my life. I'm going to use an example of how this motivated me to lose weight because losing weight is something that's very determinant on mostly just your actions. There's not a lot of extraneous variables. So when I got back from school this summer, I had a goal to lose, I would say, 20 pounds. And right now, I'm down about 12 to 15 pounds. And I would say I'm doing pretty well. I'm not hating my life. I'm feeling pretty good. So, one thing I noticed is when I'm on a diet, I've been trying to eat less and counting my calories, but there would be days where I would cheat on my diet. I would go out drinking, eat another slice of pizza, and when I'd wake up the next day, I would be like, dang, how did I gain 3 pounds? You know, I would gain the weight back and I'd be so pissed at myself because I know that I didn't do everything I could. And after bouts like that, I would actually see my best results losing weight because I would be locked in for a couple days. And since losing weight is one of those things, like I said earlier, is very determinant on your actions, I think that shows how well this works for motivating you to try harder and do better. In the end, the most important thing with this lesson of focusing on your actions and not outcomes is just awareness. Just be aware of the amount of effort you're putting into things and whether you did everything you could or not. Because as long as you're aware, it's going to manifest in some way, in some level of control. And this isn't something that happens instantly. Because for some people, and understandably, it can be hard to believe that something wasn't your fault, even if you did everything you could. And just be repetitive. Just practice. Practice your awareness. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee this is gonna help you, but I just wanted to share this because it's something that has personally helped me a lot. So I truly believe in it.